Hi guys, welcome to the Chronicles of Amber. But just stop what you're doing, just take a second and click that subscribe button down there. Cheers. I had loads of topics that I was kind of thinking of covering today. I was trying to pray through and work out what I was going to talk about. And then this week, just some things have been happening personally with my family. And I thought actually, just wanted to talk about sometimes life gets difficult. I think it's a really important part of discipleship, of your journey as a Christian, to understand that things are still going to be difficult. I think I've said before in another video that when you become a Christian, it's not like God just waves a magic wand and everything becomes perfect. You're still going to get trials, you're still going to get difficult times. And that's not to discourage you at all. Really, I want to encourage you that if you're a Christian, a new Christian, a long-term Christian, whatever, and you're going through something, that's just normal. I posted on my social media stories this week on Monday morning of how just peaceful I felt and how full of hope I was for what God was going to do in my life and how different that is to how I felt previously. And then since that morning, things have been a little bit crazy. But as a Christian, now when I go through difficult times, it's so different. As a Christian, we have prayer, and prayer is so powerful. When you're going through stuff, you can just really cry out to God. And you can be supported in prayer. So this week I've had a tough situation to deal with, and I've sent out a prayer request to a small group of people who I know will actually pray when they say they will. And myself, I've committed to spending an intentional amount of prayer on this certain situation. And it's been tough, it really has, but there's been encouragement and breakthrough. I've been massively encouraged by knowing that people are praying for me, praying for that situation. And then even more encouraged when we see answers to those prayers in such a short space of time. It's just amazing. So yeah, as Christians, you're still going to go through hard stuff, still going to go through trials, still going to go through temptations. Sometimes I think as a Christian, you can actually go through more. As a Christian, I think that people become a little bit more suspicious of you. People are watching how you deal with things. That can add a little bit of pressure to your journey. I know that through my walk with God, there's been times when I've had disagreements which have led to arguments, and I've let my feelings lead to anger. I've said something that I didn't mean, and I've had that thrown back at me saying, well, I thought you were a Christian. And it's like, yeah, we are Christians, but I'm not a robot. God doesn't call you to be a robot. He knows that you're going to feel things. I think it's okay to feel things. It then becomes our response to those emotions. But yeah, on this walk, people are going to be watching you, and that does add a little bit of pressure. But I think we always need to remember that we live our lives for an audience of one, which is for God. That we don't live our lives to please people. Obviously, we don't want to hurt people. We want to be kind. We want to be loving. We want to be generous. We want to offer grace. We want to offer mercy. We want to offer forgiveness. But you're a Christian. You're not a robot. You're a follower of Christ. You're not perfect. There's some key people in the Bible who went through really difficult times. Like, wow, like sometimes just nothing compared to what we go through. I think about Job. Think about King David. He went through stuff. Think about Solomon. He went through stuff. We think about Jesus. Look what he went through. Like, he's the Son of God. He still went through stuff. So the reality is, as a Christian, you're still going to go through stuff. But it's in those times when it's really important to be active in your faith, to be walking that walk, to be praying, to be reading your Bible. Last night, I was in a bit of a bad way because of a situation, and I didn't know what to do. So I was just praying, and I read my Bible, and I cannot tell you how different I felt by the end of that. It really does make a difference. I think the other thing to remember is that as a Christian, we're not fighting against people. That sin exists in this world, that there is a devil. I think some Christians try to deny the fact that there's evil and there's a devil, but there is a devil, and he is very, very active in this world and active in your life, especially as a Christian. He's going to throw things at you. He's going to want you to stumble. He's going to want you to mess up. But this battle is not actually against people. It's against the powers and the spiritual world. And as you grow on your journey and as you are discipled, it's really important to be aware of that spiritual battle that's going on. But it's even more important to learn how to fight in that battle. And God equips us to fight in that battle. He lays it out for us in the Bible. That is why it's so important that you need to be reading your Bible. The Bible tells us about the armour of God. You need to put on armour when you go to battle. We'll do a video about that. We'll talk more about it. You know, learning scriptures in the Bible. My memory is shocking. I find it really difficult to memorise full scriptures. But some of them I know have power and are really, really important in my life to use in that battle. And I will try my very hardest to remember them. At times I might put them up on my prayer board next to my bed, so when I wake up in the morning I can just speak those words out and claim those words over my life before I've even got out of bed. I just wanted to encourage you that as a new believer, or wherever you are in your walk with Christ, that you are going to have trials, you are going to have difficulties, and that is normal. But remember that as you have these trials and difficulties now, it's completely different from when you didn't know Christ, because now you've got Christ in your life. You've got God on your side, fighting your battles for you. So yeah, just be encouraged. I was feeling a little bit emotional last night and then had a massive answer to prayer, and it just encourages you so much to know that actually your perseverance and your commitment to God and walking this faith walk, you do see fruit, you do see answers to prayer. It's real. If this video has spoken to you, then click like down below and share it with other people who you feel need encouraging, who you feel need a little bit of lifting up. So yeah, I'll see you again next week, guys.